Five secrets to quick loan closings. Secret number 1. You may have heard via the mortgage grapevine that it's quite natural for the industry to be fast-paced and downright chaotic. After all, it seems to be that way for so many brokers and lenders. Well, believe it or not, there are many offices where things flow so smoothly that you swear you are magically transported to mortgage origination heaven. How can that be, you ask? In all of our observations, it boiled down to one thing: a system. Yep, that's it, a system. Not just any old one, though. It boils down to a system that has been carefully designed, tested, and implemented to withstand the constant changes within the mortgage industry. A system doesn't have to be large, expensive, time-consuming, or complicated. But what it does have to be is appropriate. It needs to be appropriate for your business volume, for your niche market, for your resources, and for the level of expertise that your team has. Let's take a look at one example of a simple yet effective system that resolved the issues faced by one new loan originator. Mike Freshew is a home-based originator who is relatively new to the industry. He's part of a net branch operation called ADF Loans. ADF is managed by a husband and wife team, Laura and John Hansen. The couple has 5 years of mortgage industry experience. ADF has a processor, Barb, and a few mortgage loan officers. One officer works out of the office and the other 2 are home-based and on the road quite a bit. Mike has been given the option of processing his own loans or using the in-house processor, Barb. Mike likes the atmosphere at ADF and enjoys the freedom of being home-based. After coming on board to ADF, Mike quickly realized that he needed a good system in place to avoid the pitfalls that plagued originators in similar situations. Mike analyzed his situation and summed up his potential challenges. He pondered creating his own subsystem that complemented what was already existing at ADF. Mike considered the following items to be his biggest hurdles. Number 1, training. ADF has no formal training program. Although Laura and John are very knowledgeable, the day-to-day management of the business keeps them busy and going nonstop. That limits Mike's opportunity to have one-on-one training time with them. And then number 2, support. The processors and loan officers sometimes point the finger at one another when things don't go as planned. Mike worried that getting caught up in that could hinder his growth and complicate things for him. With the positives outweighing the negatives by far, Mike decided to take action to bridge the gap. Here's what he decided to do to address his situation at ADF. Number 1, Mike explored all of the resources that were readily available to him, and that included an in-house procedure manual, the lender's reference manuals. There were a few online training modules that were provided by the lender, and then the lender also had access available to webinars and live workshops. And then Mike had the opportunity to schedule a consultation with ADF team members. Number 2, Mike requested an early morning meeting with Laura and John to minimize the likelihood of being interrupted. At the meeting, he ran his self-study training program by them to see what they thought. They were pleased and started him off with a summary of how things would work and agreed to meet with him weekly when it wasn't busy. They also provided him with access to both internal and lender procedure manuals to study at his leisure. And number 3, Mike met with Barb and got her to commit to a half-hour weekly meeting to review his loan pipeline. He also asked if he could shadow her for a half day as soon as possible so he could observe how she processed her loans. Number 4, after that, Mike took a few of the primary lender's online training tutorials. He also signed up for the next live training session that was hosted by the lender. And 5, finally, Mike met with the remaining ADF team members to ask about their successes and challenges. He also asked for their suggestions and support. In no time, Mike hit the ground running. After working through his first files with the processor, he gained enough confidence to process his own loans. When file problems did come up, Mike sought out the help that he had available to him, including his physical resources and being able to talk to people, and he was able to get back on course to meet his closing deadlines. At first glance, Mike may have seemed doomed given the situation at ADF. However, Mike saw some things that he liked and took the initiative to improve the areas that needed work. He placed the greatest value on the level of independence and flexibility that his position at ADF offered him. Over the next 4 lessons, you'll learn how to effectively manage common situations that happen as a loan processor. Additionally, you'll gain some clarity about issues that can hinder your professional growth. In the upcoming lessons, you'll learn how to quick scan a file for issues that create delays. You'll learn how to work with originators, processors, and other third parties to get cooperation and fast results. You'll also learn a few tips for speeding up the underwriting process, and you'll learn the best way to eliminate delays after final approval, and a little bit more. You'll also learn time-saving and stress reduction techniques that will boost your energy and productivity. You'll be able to customize these tools that you learn to meet your needs, and you can implement them right away.